a great group of musicians. And don't forget also that Pat and Eric Anthony and Helen Cross are moving right along there too. And we heard all of that amazing music as we were coming in. Music just moves the soul. These people were given gifts from on high. They may not know it yet, but they rocked our world. I mean, I think they feel it a little bit, but this combination of voices and their great direction, it's a sacrifice. And then they have to go home and they're taking time off from studying for exams. I know I'd want to be hitting the books right there, right then. Well, we've got something very special coming in after following the Treblemakers. Again, we'll have Ambassador Ray Flynn coming back up to this podium, and someone who has met with actual saints. I want to remind you, and possibly I can embarrass him just a little tiny bit here again, because I just love doing that, but now that we know that Pope John Paul II is possibly going to be beatified, there is one former ambassador to the Holy See who actually has written a book about it. Please go and look for it. So the Family of the Year Award will be made by Ambassador Ray Flynn.
I have to say the singing program was spectacular. I don't know if you girls know this or not, but I used to play some college and professional basketball. And we used to sing in the locker room with the Boston Celtics. They don't sound anywhere as good as Now comes the special part of the Assembly for Life program. It has been said that people of character do the right thing not because they think it will change the world, but they refuse to be changed by the world. Knowing that abortion was simply wrong, that is exactly what Charlie and Rose Hanafin did in 1975 when they started the Burlington chapter of the Massachusetts Citizens for Life. For the past more than 30 years, Charlie and Rose have been the inspiration for pro-lifers in Burlington and the surrounding communities by hosting Rose Drives for Mother's Day and finding sponsors for Respect Life Walk and aid mothers and children in Boston. Not only them, but their entire family. Daughter Kathy is chair of the new Burlington chapter. Grandson Matt is the youngest member of the board of Mass Citizens for Life. And I was there, I heard him. Did a great job speaking at Respect for Life Walk in Boston Common with his passionate pro-life speech. Another grandchild, Kayla, started a pro-life group at her school. What a wonderful gift that Charlie and Rose have passed on to their children and to their grandchildren. 11 children, and soon to be their 16th grandchild. The Pro-Life Family of the Year Award is the Hanafin family. They are a remarkable family, and we are appreciative of all that they have done. One other thing that Charlie Hanafin has done, and I wanted to just take a minute to mention this. My mother and I, as a little kid, we used to go to the Mission Church every Wednesday night. That was Our Lady of Perpetual Help. If you had somebody who was sick or needed help or prayers and support, that's where you would go. My father was in the hospital for 5 years. And before my mother would go to work at night, scrubbing off office buildings in downtown Boston, she'd always go to the Mission Church, and I would be with her. Well, Charlie Hanafin led the fundraising drive and raised millions of dollars for the Mission Church for its renovation. My friends, that's the kind of family we're with today. On behalf of all of you, let us recognize the pro-life family of the year, the Hanafin family. Thank you.
I think you've noticed that half the auditorium has actually come out of the seats, and that is the Hanafin family, and we're talking 4 generations. Now, you talk about a commitment to life. Just let your eyes in. In fact, I saw when all the little girls were coming in, they all had red coats on, and it was the best saying of the red coats were coming, I think, as they entered the auditorium into this great hall. And I know that the ambassador is preparing to present, and I think Ann may have some comments on this note. All right, I've been told there are 2 plaques, and one, of course, for the head of this dynasty, Charlie and Rose. And I think the other plaque is going to be allocated for someone else in the family. I don't know how you do that, by lottery. I'm just not sure. It's remarkable. One of the little grandchildren, I understand, was out on an airplane runway at one time. Was it little John, the grandchild, who booked it when he saw Mother Teresa and went running up to hug her? So you see, they just have this inclination in that family. Talk about life, 4 generations. And can you imagine the professions represented here and the generations that will be coming in the future? We often hear these biblical sayings about through the generations. Well, honey, you're looking at it. That's through the mass Citizens for Life generations. Choosing life, did they make the right choice? Oh, I think so. That's what you call a showstopper. I just love it. So who's taking the other award home? Do we know yet? Anybody has their dibs on it? Little John, have you reached out for you? I'm thinking that, now, goodness gracious, I wish I had a list of all these names, but we would be here for the rest of the evening, I'm afraid. Do you all sing or anything? Because I'm going to ask you all to join me in a little while. I don't know, and we're cutting out on that. No soloists down here, for sure. But I know at the end we're going to have a great backup on the Battle Hymn of the Republic. And if you hear the Hanafin choir, we're going to do a little choir battle going on back and forth with that. So I think another round of applause for the family of the year. The Hanafin family. So you almost want to have another music.